extend sincere condolences to his immediate family.
On the news tonight, former head of interim government Ernest Shonekan laid to rest in Lagos amidst encomiums.
Nigeria remains resolutely committed to achieving these set goals.
President Buhari at African Peer Review Forum reaffirms Nigeria's commitment to welfare of the poor and vulnerable.
It is indeed something that we need to bring to light and see how we can tackle this going forward for the benefit of Nigerians.
Also tonight, focus on closing the gaps in care as Nigeria marks World Cancer Day. This is NTA Network News and we are live in Abuja. I am Jumma Yusuf. Hingano John Adams is in Lagos and Asamao Habibu Shagari will be joining us from our Sokoto studio. You're welcome. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter at NTANewsNow, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. Let's get the news in details. Quoting from Ernest Shonekan's acceptance speech upon appointment as the head of interim national government, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the late Shonekan lived his life always conscious and motivated by the burden of duty. The Vice President stated this at a state funeral service organized for the former head of interim national government. Michael Olale reports.
This version of the evergreen Christian hymn, "O God, our help in ages past," featured the former head of interim national government, Ernest Shonekan, a solemn song portraying the greatness of the country. But today, unique renditions and rhymes in similar fashion set the tune for his homeward journey to eternity. It was an emotional atmosphere in which the Emeritus Anglican Primate of the Church of Nigeria, Most Reverend Peter Jasper Akinola, told believers not to see death as final, but gateway to eternity.
When a true believer in Christ comes to the end of his earthly pilgrimage, he falls asleep in the Lord, and at the end of time, he will rise again and lead to a new life, a life that has no end.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo described the late Ernest Shonekan as a patriot whose genuine respect for all religion and tribe made him a man of destiny.
Your Excellencies, Ernest Shonekan lives a life lesson for the nation that he leaves behind. What might that be? We would be right to think of Chief Ernest Shonekan as a man of destiny, a man chosen for his time, just as we would also be right to think of Nigeria as a nation of destiny, uniquely positioned to be a rallying point and an inspiration for the entire black race. On behalf of the President Muhammadu Buhari, the government and people of Nigeria, I extend sincere condolences to his immediate family, Mama Mrs. Margaret Shonekan, and their children, Adeboye, Korede, Kemi, and Yele. Thank you for giving him room to serve this nation and to serve humanity at large.
Prayer for the family and other spiritual rites were performed for the family in readiness for the final interment. Chief Ernest Shonekan's landmark achievements in the business community, coupled with his commitment to nation building, speaks volume and led to the solid precedence for his appointment as the head of the interim national government. He is survived by his wife and 5 children. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
The legacy of a patriot and noble character exemplified by Nigeria's former interim head of national government, late Chief Ernest Shonekan, will live on even after his demise. Former head of state General Yakubu Gowon stated this when he paid a condolence visit on the family of the former nationalist at his residence in Lagos. Abolade Salami tells us more.
As a mark of honor and respect to celebrate the significant role late Chief Ernest Shonekan brought to ensure stability of the country, at a time he was at the helm of leadership as interim head of national government between August 26th and November 17th, 1993. Prominent Nigerians besieged his Lugard residence to catch a glimpse of his remains. Among the early callers was Nigeria's former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, to pay his last respect to a man he described as an embodiment of great qualities, word of emulation.
And he did it exceptionally well. And he had to leave it unceremoniously. But I think he left with his head high. And a noble thing, and he did something for the nation, and ensured the nation at least continued. And of course, we work closely in the Council of States, and his contribution has been exceptionally great. May God grant his soul everlasting rest.
Although the atmosphere was in a sober state in honor of a patriot who, in the short time of his reign, made huge impact on the economy and national development. His exemplary attributes, Nigerians say, will be greatly missed.
So he had very, very sterling qualities, and he was a very, very straight thinker and a committed Nigerian. So he's a man that will be greatly missed by this country. A lot of us, his younger friends, who grew closer to him.
As a devout Christian, late Chief Ernest Shonekan was said to have impacted lives and contributed meaningfully to national unity and development. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Now let's bring you other news as President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to providing social safety nets for the poor and most vulnerable in the society. This was while officially presenting the country's review report to the 31st African Peer Review Forum of the African Union held virtually in Addis Ababa. The president said the country will also leverage on huge opportunities offered by the information and communication technology towards enhancing socio-economic development. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
As a committed member of the African peer review family, Nigeria is one of the few countries that so far presented its second peer review report. A product of a far-reaching exercise, the report touched on various segments of Nigeria's political economy and highlighted the progress recorded since the first peer review, as well as some challenges.
And as a country, we are prepared to review those challenges in the context of internal dynamics in Nigeria, ultimately with the determination of achieving Agenda 2063 goals of the African Union.
Consequently, strategic focus will be maintained on building a thriving and sustainable economy, enhancing social inclusion and alleviating poverty, enlarging agricultural output for food security and sufficiency, as well as attaining energy sufficiency in power and petroleum products. The president added that transport and other infrastructural development, business growth, entrepreneurship, as well as industrialization will be expanded, while also enhancing access to quality education, affordable healthcare, social cohesion, and security.
Nigeria remains resolutely committed to achieving these set goals, despite the challenges that the report highlighted, including coronavirus pandemic. I call on other member states to join us and present themselves for review as well. There are so many lessons that we can all learn together. It is from learning these lessons and recommitting ourselves as a continent that we all can contribute to our collective efforts to achieve the objective of the Africa we want.
Apart from Nigeria, other countries that demonstrated boldness and courage to present themselves for this comprehensive review exercise were Namibia and South Africa. Nigeria in particular acceded to the mechanisms of the African Peer Review in 2003. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Senate and House of Representatives have commenced harmonization of more than 50 constitution amendment bills in line with aspirations of citizens for good governance. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The meeting of the special committees of the two chambers saddled with amending some sections of the 1999 Constitution is to further analyze submissions, compare and review reports and do clause-by-clause consideration. Some thematic areas of the exercise include local government and judicial reforms and enabling more inclusion for women to enhance good governance.
As we critically consider the bills in the working document before us, in which the Secretariat has provided both the Senate and the House versions, let our debate, opinions and decisions on the amendment and expressive clauses be guided by what is best for our people and what is in the national interest.
I'm seeking for maximum cooperation from all of us so that we can deliver. To allow the bill go to State Assembly before the end of this February.
The two committees, after harmonization, will present reports for adoption in both the Senate and House of Representatives and transmit same to state assemblies for concurrence. In another development, House of Representatives Committee on Host Communities is mediating over allegations of non-payment of compensation to communities by oil companies.
It was duly acquired and obtained from the Rivers State government.
Being for us to have MOU with them, then after the MOU, we shall reach to this CFO and agree with one thing, so that there be peace.
What we are looking for is a permanent solution to these issues.
The committee urged state governments in oil-producing states to carry along landowners in all agreements. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Following a request by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Fantami, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the establishment of the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau. A statement from the ministry indicates that the bureau, which has been established in line with global best practice, will be responsible for consolidating the gains of the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation and supporting the process for the development of a primary legislation for data protection and privacy in Nigeria. Meanwhile, President Buhari has also approved the recommendation of the Minister for Dr. Vincent Olatunji to serve as the National Commissioner, Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau. The statement notes that Dr. Olatunji, who hails from Ekiti State, was the Director, E-Government Development and Regulations Department at NIDA. The appointment takes immediate effect. Implementing resource-appropriate strategies on prevention, early detection and treatment, experts say, could save 70% of all cancer deaths. This year's theme, Close the Care Gap, is aimed at creating understanding and recognizing the inequities in cancer treatment around the globe. Basi Ita Ekpan reports on the significance of the day.
World Cancer Day is celebrated every 4th of February with the aim of amplifying voices across the nation and across the world for governments at various levels to do the needful and make commitments to prioritize cancer care.
And it is indeed something that we need to bring to light and see how we can tackle this going forward for the benefit of Nigerians.
You know, the patients, they need to be emphasized with. The caregivers, they need psychological support. And then the health workers, we need to appreciate them for what they do.
These barriers are not set in stone. They can be changed.
In Nigeria, several events were organized to mark the day. The Nigerian Cancer Society and partners briefed journalists on the state of cancer in the country.
Let's avail ourselves to screening. There are screening available. 99% of cervical cancer is HPV related. And this is a virus that can be prevented.
Available record shows an estimated 19.3 million new cases and 10 million people died globally from cancer in 2020. Out of this number, 124,000 new cases of cancer were reported in Nigeria. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
We'll take a break. When we return, more reports. Don't go away.
Ajaye go gym. make it calm down. It a fun say you sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass me your power. You want to show yourself, oh. But yeah.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At the heart of your waking up and going out is your desire to succeed. This keeps you awake, running through your mind, even when bathing. At Bedmate, we understand and remain your partners in providing you durable furniture that helps you work better and introduces you as a person of good taste. That's why from 13 January to 20 February 2022, you can own items in a Sophia Office series at incredible discounts of 20% off with amazing gifts too. Hurry now to our showrooms to enjoy this limited offer like many others needing high-performance work tools to success.
The board, management and staff of Joint Marine Services Limited join millions of Nigerians to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Chubike Amechi, on Yoto Banin as Nang Amanar Daura. Date 5th February 2022. Venue Emirs Palace, Daura Casino Street. Time 12:30 p.m. This singular honor by the Emir of Daura, Al-Hajj Umar Farouk, CON, testifies to your outstanding leadership qualities and selfless service to Daura Emirate and Nigeria as a whole. We fervently pray for God's guidance and protection of the new Nang Amanar Daura. Sign, Management. The Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, welcomes all candidates to the 2020-2021 JAM CBT for Nigerian Scholarship Award, scheduled to hold as follows. Date, 5th February 2022. Venue, 6 geopolitical zones. Candidates have already been informed of their venue and time for the test. Architect Soniti Echano, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, announcer.
Soft, make sense, we care for me, shy. No be the type when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no. The brand is sure them no go stress you. Call them then they accessible. Customer care where they on point. You no go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment, everything is just a blend. If you know what is good for you, guy make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow. The House of Representatives ad hoc committee on unclaimed funds in Nigerian commercial banks and infractions by the Central Bank of Nigeria invites the public to a one-day hearing. All memoranda on unclaimed funds in Nigerian commercial banks and infractions by the Central Bank of Nigeria should be forwarded to Suite 4.62, House of Representatives Building, on or before Monday, 14th February 2022. Public hearing date, Monday, 7th February 2022. Venue, Conference Room 034, House of Representatives, National Assembly, Abuja. Time, 2 p.m. Special guest, Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives. Critical stakeholders to attend are the Central Bank of Nigeria, all Chief Executive Officers of Nigerian commercial banks, subsidiaries of Central Bank of Nigeria, all revenue-generating departments and agencies, all government-owned enterprises, all development banks in Nigeria, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Nigeria Port Authority, as well as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Honorable Unyime Idem, Chairman, House Ad hoc Committee on Unclaimed Funds in Nigerian Commercial Banks and Infractions by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Announcer.
You're welcome back. You can follow these news broadcasts live on our website nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page NTA Network News, Twitter at NTANewsNow and Instagram NTA Network for updates. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent messages of congratulations to two chieftains of the All Progressives Congress, Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation and two-time Director General of his election campaigns, and Nasiru Haladu Danu, a reputable businessman, on the conferment of a chieftaincy title on them tomorrow, Saturday, by the Daura Emirate Council. President Buhari describes the conferment of the title of Dang Amana, the trusted one, on Amechi as a clear commitment to the harmonious relationship between the nation's diverse cultures. Alhaji Dano is to be tabbed as Tafide Baba of Daura. He commended the minister for working with enormous energy to make the change promised to Nigerians a reality. The president will not be at the event, but has designated a delegation of 3 made up of the Ministers of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, Aviation, Hadi Sirika, and the Senior Special Assistant Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, to represent him. More than 90,000 military pensioners, including deceased, on the payroll of the Military Pension Board have started receiving 25% increment of the arrears of the new minimum wage. Chairman of the board, Rear Admiral Subiru Lawal, who made this known to newsmen in Abuja, says the payment, which began on February 3, 2022, is the first out of 4 installment payments to be made. Ismail Musa reports.
January 15, 2022, some ex-servicemen protested the delay in payment of their 24-month outstanding arrears, among other demands. Following a series of meetings between the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Military Pension Board, expectations of pensioners turned reality.
All the over 90,000 are going to be paid. This 25% of the minimum of the 24 months minimum wage increment on their pensions.
Deceased pensioners were also not left out.
Because they died after the promulgation of the Minimum Wage Act, they are entitled to that increment on their pensions. That's the first part of
pensioners of senior officers from Major General and above, or its equivalents, are not affected by the adjustments, meaning they are not entitled to the 24 months minimum wage arrears.
This is because their own salary structure is what we call consolidated salary structure. This increment does not affect them. So all military retirees who are still living are entitled to this payment.
The board noted that the electronic verification app meant to ease the burden on pensioners will soon be made available. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Zamfara state government has donated 7 million naira to families of some 7 police officers who died in the course of fighting terrorists in the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Ayuba Elkana, who presented the cash to some widows of the deceased at the command headquarters, Gusau, described the donation as a moral booster. Jamilu Ibrahim Hasmo.
7 operatives of the Zamfara State Police Command had in November 2021 lost their lives during an encounter with some criminal elements terrorizing the state. As a show of sympathy and concern over the sad event, Zamfara State government has donated 7 million naira to families of the slain police officers. The State Commissioner of Police, Ayuba Elkana, who presented 1 million naira cash to each of the 2 widows of the deceased, said the assistance will be delivered to others soonest.
On behalf of the Governor of Zamfara State, I hand over to you the sum of 1 million naira to take care of these your children. Thank you.
He, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, appreciated Zamfara State government for the gesture, which he said will go a long way in alleviating the hardship being faced by the affected families, as fringe benefits of the slain officers are being processed. Widows of the 2 deceased officers who received the cash assistance on behalf of their respective families thanked the Zamfara State government for the intervention. 5 of the slain police officers held the rank of inspector, while the other 2 were sergeants. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari has called on stakeholders to rally around the transformation policies of Nigeria Customs Service to strengthen the fight against smuggling to drive the nation's economy for sustainable development. The governor made the plea during the Customs Stakeholders Consultative Forum organized by the Katsina Area Command. Shehu Adamu reports.
The Customs Stakeholders Consultative Forum is the initiative of the High Command of the Nigeria Customs Service
to generate inputs with a view to improving its operations and community relations. Katsina State Governor, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, commended the efforts of the Nigeria Customs Service in the fight against smuggling activities and revenue generation.
It is very important for all of us, the community in particular, to understand the importance of doing what is in the best interest of the country.
Acting Controller of the Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service, Dalhawa Dachedi, acknowledged improvement in the custom community relations in the state. Emirs of Katsina and that of Daura directed traditional leaders to intensify sensitization in their domains with a view to complementing the effort of the Nigeria Customs Service.
The agents should be carried along, should be trained the procedures of these e-customs.
The stakeholders pledge to continue to support any initiative aimed at improving their businesses for the protection of the local economy. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
As part of post-insurgency recovery efforts, Borno State government has distributed 500 tricycles and over 100 saloon cars and buses to over 20 associations. The 10 41-seater buses were given to the state-owned transport corporation with the distribution exercise flagged off by Governor Babagana Umara Zulum in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Mohammed Goni reports.
Procurement and distribution of the 500 tricycles, 100 Toyota saloon cars, and 10 41-seater buses was in fulfillment of a pledge made by Governor Zulum to address transportation challenges being experienced in Maiduguri and to empower beneficiaries. Under the scheme, each of the 500 tricycles was given to 4 riders, while 100 saloon cars were distributed to 200 beneficiaries.
To yau fa an samu shugaban da ran namu ya samu gurin zama abincin da zamu ci kuma yana gina mana jiki sannan har an dauki abun 1.2 sama da mutum 1000 za su amfana da shi.
Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, full stated commitment to empower the citizenry, also announced that 1,000 other members of the 20 associations who have not benefited from the scheme will have 50 million naira. Commissioner for Transport Abubakar Tijani thanked the governor for immediate response to the transportation challenges being experienced in the state capital and the establishment of the State Transportation Management Agency in Maiduguri. Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
The need for road management agencies and road users to collaborate to reduce road crashes has again been stressed. Deputy Corps Marshal Administration and Human Resources emphasized this at a one-day joint stakeholders forum on safe haulage operations for sustainable road usage in Nigeria. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
Statistics from the Federal Road Safety Corps reveals 11.7% increase of road crashes death rate in the third quarter of 2021, with majority of accidents involving haulage operators. This recurring trend has been a concern to many, who believe that many of these accidents could have been avoided if normal safety precautions are put in place. These inform the collaboration between the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to embark on more campaign with the call for self-regulation amongst drivers to drastically reduce crashes.
The key issues are safety, protection of lives, of course, even the vehicles.
With a staggering record of 5,000 deaths from road crashes annually, it becomes pertinent for deliberate efforts by stakeholders to take action that will promote sanity on the Nigerian roads.
We hope that regular interface, regular meetings with the leadership of the transport unions, letting them know what the issues are. From the point of the FCCPC, letting them also know what the public thinks.
Even most of the vehicles, they have what we call speed limiter, wherein the speed is controlled, and they don't drive in the night.
We as a union will always try our best. That's why we're organizing seminar, always calling quarterly.
This partnership, the actors believe, will help in creating more awareness on the need for haulage and fleet operators to respect and observe precautions when driving. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Time to join Hingino in Lagos. She has this next set of reports from that zone. Hello, Hingino.
Thank you, Jummai. One of the legal monuments of the judiciary touched
in the wake of the 2020 NSAS protest was the High Court building in Lagos. Samuel Johnson reports that the debris is giving way for a modern structure.
This building dates back to the period of Lagos as a colony of the British government. It houses, among others, the first High Court building and, of course, in recent times, the forensic facility in West Africa for DNA purposes. For stakeholders who are familiar with the structure, which happens to be the oldest High Court building in Nigeria, the destruction during the NSAS protest in October 2020 was a monumental loss.
I felt sad to the incident that happened to it. It's a memorial building that we have to tell our children, great-grandchildren.
So that building represented a historical edifice about Lagos. It showed what the dignity about the judiciary was all about. And we're saddened, we're not happy when that building was destroyed.
They describe as commendable the decision of the Lagos state government to pull down the relics for a modern structure.
We're also looking forward to a building that would represent what 21st century legal industry looks forward to, a judiciary that is proactive, efficient, and represents the hope of the common man.
Now that they are rebuilding it, we will be very grateful if government should give security to the building.
They also expressed hope that the completion will be as scheduled. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
The seasonal Harmattan weather, with its characteristic dry dust, haze and low visibility over Nigeria's airspace at this time of the year, has been almost non-existent for 2 months. Apart from arousing curiosity, the situation is alarming because of its abnormality, which seems to be recurring and worsening. Kehinde Adebisi examines the peculiar pattern of the hazy weather in Lagos State and its ripple environmental and health effects.
Tan is a dry and dusty northeast trade wind that originates from the Sahara Desert over the West African sub-region to the Atlantic Ocean. The seasonal Harmattan phenomenon, which begins from the month of December, peaks in January and wanes by March, is usually pronounced after a heavy downpour, but this is not the case this year. Weather advisory reports released by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET in January revealed that some parts of the country will experience temperature rise greater than 40 degrees centigrade. Although Lagos is not in that temperature range, residents are experiencing chills and respiratory condition as a result of the dry, dusty wind associated with the weather.
It makes me feverish sometimes, especially in the afternoon. It's easy anyway, it's dusty.
Climatologists explain that this is related to an intensity of winter storm in the northern hemisphere.
So it's nothing unusual. We just have to prepare ourselves, especially the elderly people must prepare themselves for the cold. People asthmatic must prepare themselves to be aware of the very fine dust that is in the air that can affect their breathing because the air becomes dense.
The dust haze under the normal Harmattan weather envelopes the skyline, forming thick blankets of fluffy, fine, airborne particles, causing low visibility to travelers on air, land, and sea. The dryness of the weather also causes increase in fire disaster.
We've raised alarm, both at the local and at the state level. All our local emergency management agencies have been put in alert.
Environment and safety experts advocate increased awareness to educate Nigerians on safety tips during the Harmattan season. In Lagos, Kehinde Adebisi, NTA News.
It's time for another break, but before then, we would like to remind you that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTANewsNow, and Instagram at NTA Network.
one language we all speak. From before we could say Papa, to when they start calling us Grandma. It's a force that compels us to move, transporting us to where we would never have imagined. It's the way we show ourselves, moving to the rhythm of our souls. Dance brings us together. Young and old, new school and old school, blending styles and creating new motions. And with Glow, you have an unlimited platform to showcase all the skills you've got. Glow, Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. In your bathing water, for your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure.
Any short, sharp pain is usually the first sign of sensitivity. The likelihood is the condition is probably going to get worse if you do nothing about it. I recommend Sensodyne. It actually goes inside the tooth and helps calm down the nerve right where we need it to act. Sensodyne is a brand that I know works.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Every Harmattan, he falls sick so frequently and misses school often. I keep him away from junk food.
She also feeds me apples. She says an apple a day keeps...
If you want to keep germs away, then use Dettol soap regularly. Germs and disease spread easily during Harmattan. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol Sure.
Thanks for joining us. Some stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State are calling on party supporters to remain resolute in their prayers for a stronger party ahead of the National Convention. Addressing party faithful at the party secretariat in Uyo, they maintained that President Muhammadu Buhari's effort to return the party to the people should be embraced by all. Clement Barikio reports.
The gathering here is to welcome the new Akwa Ibom State chairman from the National Secretariat, where he was presented with a certificate of return following the successful conduct of the State Congress held last year. The new state chairman, Mr. Augustine Ekanem, and other stakeholders of the party say building a strong, united and cohesive party in line with the mandate of the president and leader of the party, President Muhammadu Buhari, is key as the 2023 elections approach.
The party
party has taken position on no victor, no vanquish. Go home and celebrate. Yeah. Work hard to win elections. Work hard to win elections. Yeah. This party belongs to everybody. Yeah. This is a progressive party. Yeah. We will work with every person, with every group, with every interest to justify the collectivity of our party.
New state executive members were also inaugurated by the chairman in Uyo, Clement Barkui, NTA News.
Let's take you to Sokoto now. Asmau is our guide. Hello, Asmau.
Jumai, good evening and welcome to Sokoto. The Minister of Police Affairs, Muhammad Maigari Dingyadi, says resuscitation of the Police Public Complaints Committee is in furtherance of President Muhammadu Buhari's quest to achieving people-centric security arrangements which prioritizes respect for citizens' rights and address genuine cases of infractions. The minister was speaking at the Northwest Zonal Sensitization Campaign on Police Public Complaints Committee in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Deti completes the report.
The Northwest edition of the sensitization was born out of the desire and need to elicit support towards decapitating the notorious element threatening peace and security in the zone. Minister of Police Affairs, Muhammad Maigari Dingyadi, said resuscitating the Police Public Complaints Committee is to, among others, bridge the gap between the police and the populace to elicit sustainable confidence and mutual cooperation. He called for the elimination of all forms of apathy, build trust and confidence in the police to rout out all enemies of peace in the zone.
We make sure that the police behave more democratically and to ensure that justice is done to each case of infraction.
Inspector General of Police Alkali Baba Usman, represented by the Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 10, Bello Sani Dalijan, admonished the citizens to work with the committee to achieve the target goals.
The campaign will go a long way to embrace the general populace of the area, the role of the Nigerian police force in safeguarding lives and properties.
Sokoto State Government, represented by Director Administration Minister of Careers, Abdulkadir Muhammad Ahmad, described the effort by the Police Ministry as a means of cementing relationship between the police and the Nigerian populace. Goodwill messages were presented by the Sultanate Council, representatives of religious bodies, NGOs, and youths, among others. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Deti, NTA News.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has bid farewell to 117 students who are part of the 262 sponsored by the state government to study abroad. Governor Bagudu admonished the students to be good ambassadors of the country, urging them to also face their studies to become useful members of the society. Osman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
The 117 students traveling to India are part of the 262 approved by the Kebbi State government to travel to India, Sudan and Ukraine to pursue education in engineering and medicine. At the farewell and scholarship award presentation ceremony, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu said education remained a top priority in his administration in spite of global economic challenges and COVID-19 induced problems. He charged the students to be good ambassadors of the country, the state and their families.
Education is universal. At all times, you will want ambassadors in other centers around the world.
The Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Mukhtar Umar Bunza, explained that 56 of the 117 first batch students will study medicine and surgery, and the rest will undertake other courses. Speaking on behalf of the students and their parents, Jibril Aliyu and Hajia Asebe Dirindaji appreciated the state government gesture promising to portray the good image of the country while in the foreign land.
We will be ambassadors of the Kebbi state image.
Governor Bagudu, along his deputy, other government officials, parents and other relatives witnessed the departure of the student from Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport, Birnin Kebbi. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And that's it from here. We will take a short break, and when we return, the news will continue with Jumai in Abuja. Good evening.
Aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs, Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. In your bathing water, for your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
For an event as big as the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, you can't afford to miss out. So where do you go when you want to have a full AFCON 2021 experience? You go where everybody goes. When you're looking for the vibe, you go straight to the source. So if you want to have it all, go all out for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations with GoTV. Catch all 52 must-watch games live on SuperSport on GoTV. GoTV, love it.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
Welcome back. You can follow these news broadcasts live on our website nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTANewsNow online. You can also visit our Facebook page NTA Network News, Twitter at NTANewsNow and Instagram NTA Network for updates. AFCON 2021 will serve us its closing tunes this weekend as host Cameroon face Burkina Faso in the third-place playoff and Senegal to battle Egypt in Sunday's final. Let's join Alicia Adebo for the preview of the final games on the AFCON shorts.
Africa Cup of Nations host Cameroon will hope to end their tournament on a high when taking on Burkina Faso for the bronze medal on Saturday. A grueling penalty shootout defeat against seven-time champions Egypt ended their hopes of a title on home soil, and they will be back in action just 48 hours later. That is because CAF moved this game forward a day, having originally scheduled it for Sunday afternoon. Burkina Faso's wait for an AFCON crown goes on after losing to Senegal in the semi-finals, but they can replicate their third-place finish in 2017 by defeating Cameroon. Burkina Faso versus Cameroon is scheduled for 8 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday at Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé. Cameroon claimed a 2-1 victory when the sides met earlier in the competition. Meanwhile, Egypt's assistant manager Dar Al Said has called on AFCON organizers to move their final versus Senegal back a day after the penalty victory over Cameroon. The Pharaohs have gone the distance in both semi-final and last 16 ties, having also required extra time to beat Morocco in the quarter-finals. Their last four clash also came a day later than their opponents on Sunday. Egypt are set to be without manager Carlos Queiroz on the touchline for Sunday's final after his sending off on Thursday, with the game currently scheduled for 8 p.m. at Olimbe Stadium.
For more, let's take our sports update.
The maiden edition of the Africa Super League is expected to kick off next year as Africa's football body, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, have called up a meeting with selected clubs in Cameroon on Saturday. CAF President Patrice Motsepe disclosed on Friday that the African Super League will start on September 2023. African club sides have been invited for a meeting to further discuss on it. The teams expected to be part of the Super League must have academies, women club sides, amongst other requirements. It is the first regional football body proposing to commence the Super League after it was announced in Europe in 2021, but was opposed by the fans. In 2021, CAF president said it was needed to improve the game on the continent and make it more financially viable. Still talking football, ahead of the African Women Championship qualifiers between the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Lady Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire for Morocco 2022. 4 more players have joined the Super Falcons in camp in Abuja. Vivian Ikechukwu of Rivers Angels, Joy Duru of Nasarawa Amazons, Akuda Ogbonna of Edo Queens, and Amarachi Okonkwo of Nasarawa Amazons. The team's training has intensified on physical fitness at the FIFA Goal Project in Abuja. The first leg of the qualifier comes up on Friday, 18 February 2022 at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. The Nigerian National League has announced a new home grounds for 4 clubs ahead of the new season. In a statement released on Friday, NNL revealed Adamawa United, Apex Crane, J Atete, and Mahum Fashi football clubs have been moved to other stadia for the 2021-2022 season. It noted, due to the development of poor condition of match venues presented by the teams, NNL, however, warned other clubs giving provisional approval to complete upgrading of facilities in their venues before time or face relocation to other venues for their home matches. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
The remains of former Nigerian ambassador to Liberia, Ayodele Adigun, has been laid to rest in conjunction with Christian rights, Omenka Amarachukwu reports.
That is a necessary end that awaits every mortal. This is the sermon at the funeral service of the Nigerian former ambassador to Liberia, late Ayodele Adigun, at the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Somehow in our hearts, we are afraid of death. You can see on the way we treat the dead.
He's a teddy bear at heart. Even though he has a strong face, people can have this misconception, but he's the most kindest person.
Yeah, I miss his jokes. It's what I advise.
For his friends and family members, Ambassador Ayodele Adigun will be remembered for his contribution to the development of Nigerians' foreign mission.
All his assignments, I can't remember anybody who has negative things to say about him.
He was compassionate. He hated injustice.
Ambassador Adigun was an illustrious son of Igbaroke community in Ondo State. Was a very principled man, well organized.
Aged 72, Ayodele Adigun was a pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God and started his diplomatic career in 1975 before retiring for divine work in 2010. He was later interred into Mother Earth amid sympathizers from family, friends, followers, and associates. In Abuja, Omenka Amarachukwu, NTA News.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page NTA Network News, Twitter at NTANewsNow, and Instagram NTA Network for updates. A quick check on the weather prospect for tomorrow is next.
Hello. Fresh dust has been raised over Fire Laju in Chad Republic. This is expected to affect into the country, deteriorating horizontal visibilities over most parts of the north in thick dust haze. The north central down to the inland cities of the south are expected to be in dust haze with visibility range of 2 to 5 kilometers and a localized visibility of 1,000 or less. The coastal belts are expected to be in patches of clouds in a hazy atmosphere. That's the forecast for Saturday. I'm Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
That's it on Network News tonight. But before we go, don't forget to join NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Jummai Yusuf.
NTA. You can't beat the reach.